Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 9. We'll chant from verse 21 till 25.
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापाः यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम् क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्नाः गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ताः यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन्यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्याः यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम्
Last week, we started the third topic of chapter 9. The third topic is called One Attains What One Strives For, verse number 20 to 28. And we studied 20 and 21. Isn't it, Radha?
Yes, Amitji.
Am I audible? Jigar, how is the audio quality?
Good, Amiji.
Okay. So if you understand the thought flow 2021, every human being has a choice. This is how it starts. And that choice is either you can pursue the world or you can pursue supreme reality. So God's is used symbolically. It means all your worldly goals. And there are three human pursuits: selfish, unselfish, selfless or desireless. So he's not talking about selfish pursuits. So these two verses, they talk about unselfish pursuits. So those who have unselfish desires, they are far superior to self-centered people. But still there is a stigma attached in any unselfish pursuit. That stigma is, end of the day, it is terrestrial. And also it is desire-ridden pursuit. But it is far, far superior to a person who is self-centered. He just thinks about himself. So when you pursue anything unselfishly, could be anything. like genuinely you are concerned about the community, your place of work, not for yourself. You genuinely want to help others. Thoughts are on helping others. So, no doubt it is a noble action. But since it is desire ridden action, you get a joy. There is no doubt about it. But that joy is not permanent, it is temporary. You are still entangled in the world. You could still be disturbed when your desires are not fulfilled. You could become possessive about what you are pursuing. And you remain caught up in the world. You don't get moksha. So, therefore, he is educating everybody that far superior to selfish pursuit is unselfish pursuit in life. But that's not the end. You need to graduate to the level of selfless pursuit, desireless pursuit. Only selfless action can give you moksha. It will liberate you from the world. It will purify all your desires. It will annihilate all your desires. So not only you reach the ultimate destination, which is the goal of self-realization, but also your journey is smooth. So that's the advantage. With unselfish, also your journey is relatively smooth, but is punctuated by joy and sorrow. One moment you are happy, next moment you could be affected. It could be any worldly challenge. It could be at home, it could be at work, or it could be because of your goal is not fulfilled. But when you function desirelessly, you end of the day you reach your goal and also your journey becomes smooth. So that's what we covered in these two verses 20 and 21. And 22 he talks about what is that selfless pursuit. So are we okay with the thought flow? All right. Verse number 22, please.
अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषाम् नित्याभियुक्तानाम् योगक्षेमम् वहाम्यहम् अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषाम् नित्याभियुक्तानाम् योगक्षेमम् वहाम्यहम्.
Translation: to those persons, to those seekers who worship me thinking of nothing else, to those ever seeking union, I grant them yoga, I grant them ksema. So, very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita, oft quoted. And literally, it is a geometric center of Bhagavad Gita. There are 701 verses, so this is a middle verse. There are very few places in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna makes promise, And these great men, they don't make any promises, but here he definitely makes that promise. The Lord sends the Lord's promise. It's not from any ordinary person. So Lord promises moksha or liberation for all. It is guaranteed. He says, you don't worry. I will give you everything, whatever you want. You want success, you want peace, you want liberation, everything I'm going to give you. I promise it to you. I guarantee it to you. Provided you put efforts. That is understood. So when Krishna makes the promise that I will give you liberation, I will give you everything, What is understood is you have to put the cause. You have to sow the cause. You have to put efforts. And then law of causation functions. Law of causation is nothing but law of cause and effect, isn't it? So if you sow the right cause, effect is automatic. You don't have to worry about the effect. So that's the promise. So every seeker should find it inspiring. See, because sometimes we need a reaffirmation from the authority. You know, though you may be sincere, but if it is coming from the authority that, hey, no, you can't do it. I'm there behind you. But what is understood is you have to put the efforts. A lot of people miss that. Okay, thank you. No, Lord will save me. Yes, of course. But are you putting efforts? Is the question. So I'll give you a simple example. Like you go to your friend's place for a weekend, and you're nicely sitting there having a cup of tea, and he has washed his car and is parked, in a pathway. Nice and shiny car. So you ask your friend, hey, your car is looking so nice. You open the door, it's all like squeaky clean, even from inside. Outside also, you can see the reflection of the sun. So you ask him, how come your car is so nice? How come it is shining? So he says, you want similar car? You want your car to shine like my car? Of course, I look at my car, it's dirty, outside, inside. So there is no comparison. So he said, I promise you, your car will be like my car next week. So when you come next week, please bring these 10 items. So it gives you a list. Get a nice soap, shampoo, special brush. Inside again, different polishes, for seats and all that. So 10 items he gives you, and he tells you that, make sure that you pick up from a particular shop or particular brand. So you bring all that religiously. Next week, you go to his place, and then he gives you instructions one by one. First, you soak the car. Then you do this, and then you do that. So 2 hours you work very hard. And then he says, okay, now you park your car next to my car. Is it not the same? In fact, yours is perhaps slightly better. So what you need to understand that no doubt he has given you directions, but who has done all the work? See, it's a simple example.
Yes,
That's
done.
what wife says when they go home. They say, she's confused. Your friend said, he will give you a nice shiny car. He made you work 2.5 hours you work. And then he said, see, did I not promise you a nice car? So what is the role of a friend there? What is your role? If you understand this, my job is done. We can move on to the next verse. Simple example. What is your role in the car example? What is your friend's role?
To show the way.
Mm-hmm.
To put in the effort to clean the car.
No, friends. What is friend's role?
Direction. Show the direction.
Mm-hmm. And your role?
To follow the direction
Meticulously.
meticulously.
So can you get a nice shiny car without your friend's direction?
No.
You cannot. You need your friend to help you. He knows. He is an expert in detailing. But who has to put efforts? All the efforts. simple example. There's no philosophy here.
We have to put the efforts.
You have to put the efforts. Any amount of direction alone is not going to help you, right? End
Yes.
of the day, you have to do everything. You have to put all the efforts. So that's what Krishna is saying. And if you do ABCD, we're going to discuss what it means. I guarantee, I promise you, yoga, I promise you, ksema, liberation, peace, success. So that's what he's saying. Ananya shintayanto ma ye jana paryupasate. So to those persons, those seekers who worship me, worship meaning those who pursue goal of self-realization, nothing else. So they have that fixation. They have understood what's the purpose of life. Why am I born as a human being? And that goal, achieving goal of self-realization, is above any mundane achievements or goals in life. So that conviction you have to develop with your own study and reflection. Nobody can pass on that conviction to you. You may be in the company of an enlightened master, but even he or she cannot pass on that conviction to you. So it is a product of your own analysis. It's a product of your own understanding. What's the purpose of life? See, that's the reason traditionally, especially back home in India, good many temples, they are on the hilltop. Even some of the churches are on top of the hills. I don't know how many of you have visited such church or a temple. A long time back, maybe 4 or 5 years back, we were traveling on Pacific One, So there's a famous church. It's a church and a monastery. So you have to go on the hill. It's on the top of the hill, almost 15-20 minutes of climb. So it's not only temples, even some of the traditional churches, they are on top of the hills to indicate that the goal of self-realization is above all mundane achievements and goals. That's the symbolism. So those who worship me, meaning those who have understood the purpose of life, which is to liberate yourself, which is to reach the state of spiritual enlightenment. That's the perfection any human being can reach. So when you understand that, that's what it means, worship me. And how you pursue that goal, ananya chintayanta, that is next condition. Thinking of nothing else. It's not casually. You could have a casual approach. Yes, I understand the purpose of my life, but then that's the least priority for you. No. Thinking of nothing else. Ananya chintayanta is again oft quoted part from Bhagavad Gita. Chinta meaning thinking. Anya chinta means other thinking. Ananya chinta means no other thinking. This is the book, in case you're not able to follow what I'm saying. See, I repeat, chinta means thinking, that you have that fixation. Anya chinta is other thinking. Ananya chinta is no other thinking. So that word is equivalent of no in English or not in English. So no other thinking, single pointed pursuit of the ultimate goal. And why are you pursuing that ultimate goal? Because you have understood the purpose of life. How did you understand the purpose of life? There is only one purpose. How did you understand that purpose? By your own study and reflection, by your own analysis. And when you do that, when you pursue the goal of self-realization, you have fixation on that. Nityabhiyuktana, those who constantly seek that. See, like step by step, he is making it clear. Seekers who have that fixation, nitya bhiyuktana, meaning they oblate all their activities to that goal, ultimate goal. That is important. It's not a casual approach. So when he says those who constantly seek that goal, those who constantly oblate all their activities to the ultimate goal of self-realization, see, it doesn't, you could get confused. It doesn't matter what you do in life. It's not that this is your spiritual activity, this is your mundane activity. There is no such thing. Whatever activities you are engaged in with your body, mind, intellect, with body you can perceive and act, with mind you can feel emotions, with intellect you can think. So all your perceptions, actions, feelings, and thoughts, are you oblating them to the ultimate goal? Meaning, if your perception, action, feeling, thought is not going to take you to the ultimate goal, you examine that. And eventually you have to discard that. See, for example, you like to travel. Now, there is nothing wrong in traveling. We're talking about perception. But is your traveling coming in the way of achieving your ultimate goal? If you don't have ultimate goal, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you can do anything. You can just acquire, indulge. That's what most people are doing. He's talking about a seeker who has understood the purpose of life and who has that fixation. Fixation on what?
Goal of self-realization.
The goal of self-realization. If you cannot relate to that, you can take it even from relative level. Self-improvement. You're committed to learning this knowledge. I want to become a better human being, whichever way. Though he is talking from absolute level, but it is applicable even from relative level. So coming back to the example of sightseeing, you have a desire for sightseeing. It's okay, once in a while you go here and there, fine, why not? But if that activity is coming in the way of achieving your goal, see, you cannot pursue that, isn't it? Similarly, what you watch on TV, nobody can tell you as an adult, like news. A couple of people, they ask me, should I listen to the news? You can't say no, you can't say yes. You need to be up to date about the world, what is happening, at least to some extent. But if you feel if you're taking that negative stimuli over and over again, it's not good for your spiritual growth. You decide. No, I think I need to soft pedal on it, isn't it? What type of programs you watch, what type of movie you watch, you decide. If you feel it is helping you, please continue. Similarly, feelings. Any kind of negative feelings is not going to help you to go towards the ultimate, isn't it? Could be feeling of bitterness. It could be you don't like somebody. Or it could be even extreme emotion like sorrow. Due to whatever reason, something is happening at home, something could be happening at work. So you're not able to handle that situation. Therefore, you're upset. So this frame of mind is not going to help me. So you work on that, whatever is bothering you, isn't it? Or you have a tendency to be super excited all the time. It's not good. It's not in line with my ultimate goal. What kind of thoughts you are entertaining? Any negative thought is not good. So you work on it. So you tell yourself, no, this is not good. Is knowledge of Vedanta is going to help you to reach the ultimate goal? If yes, grab it. If no, don't go anywhere near this knowledge. So you have to decide what perception, what action, what feelings, what thoughts are in line with your ultimate goal. There has to be alignment. If there is misalignment, you say no. You have to deal with that particular perception or emotion or thought. If you don't deal with that, I mean, what's the point of having ultimate goal? Yes, in theory, you can say, yes, that's my goal, but then what about your lifestyle? All your activities, they are diametrically opposed to the goal which you yourself have set. So therefore, when he says Nityabhiyuktanam, a true seeker, he obligates all his activities to the ultimate goal. That does not mean you have to do anything different. I hope you are clear. It's not that you stop contacting your friends, relatives, family members, you change your job. No, no such thing. You stay put where you are. You continue what you are doing. Only thing is you need to examine all your perceptions, actions, feelings, and thoughts. Am I oblating? Am I channelizing everything towards the ultimate goal? See, a couple of people, they have asked this question to me. Is Sanskrit necessary to understand Vedanta? So my answer is no. If you don't have background of Sanskrit, I mean, why are you wasting time? Whatever is given in the book, the translation, the meaning, it is more than enough for you. See, as it is, people don't have time for study. On top of that, you take study of Sanskrit knowledge. I mean, when are you going to study? But if you feel you have inclination, maybe a little bit of free time, it's okay. It's not that you should not learn Sanskrit, but it's not required. So you decide. If my pursuit of Sanskrit language is helping me to understand this knowledge better, maybe I have some spare time, please do it. But if you feel no, as it is, I'm hard pressed for time, and how can I do both? Then study of Sanskrit is not a priority. So you obligate everything to the ultimate goal. This is how you take that decision. So if you do above, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema, I will give you everything. Go back to the example of your friend. 10 things he tells you to bring, you bring everything, you spend money, you put efforts. So if you have that to begin with, that conviction to pursue ultimate goal, how does that conviction come? Your own efforts, your own conviction, right? Your own understanding. And then you channelize all your activities to the ultimate goal. And you are consistent in your pursuit. You have that fixation. If you do that, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. So there are three ways of understanding this yoga and ksema. Is in the book, is he defining the meaning of yoga and ksema?
Yes, Amitji.
Yeah, so it is there. See, yoga means to unite. I mean, all of you know that, right? To unite with the self. Ksema means tranquility. See, he's saying, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. So therefore, you need to understand what these two words mean. So yoga means to unite. Ksema means tranquility, peace, rest, safety, any secure, easy, or comfortable state. And it is derived from the root ksha. It means prosperous, at ease or safe. That's the meaning of these two words. He says, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. So yoga means to unite, ksema, I explained to you just now what it means. Now, it can be understood in three ways. That promise, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. So the first meaning is gaining what you do not have right now. Yoga, we are talking about yoga. You gain what you don't have right now. So what we don't have right now is spiritual growth. Let's say you are at 20%, and when you put efforts, let's say you come to 40%, 50%, 60%. So with your efforts, you get established in spiritual path. You get established in the higher values, which we don't have right now. So you unite with the higher values which scriptures are talking about. Are you following the thought flow? It's quite simple. And ksema means preserving what you have gained. Go back to the definition. That's the very definition of ksema. So when you put efforts, you improve, you become a better human being. That's our goal. You are at this level, you get established here. And ksema means you stay put here. It's quite simple. You will not regress. If you are genuinely evolving, from 20% you become 50%, you stay put there. You will not regress, you will not go back. So your spiritual growth stays with you, moment to moment, life to life. It never goes to waste. If you have a capacity, if you develop capacity, you develop clarity. So that clarity will come handy in any situation in life. How you manage your home, how you relate to your spouse, how you relate to your children, how you relate to your job, how you manage your finances, your intellect is developed. Let's say 40%. So you will maintain that 40% clarity. You have the capacity. If you are at 10%, as far as challenges are concerned, how you face challenges of life, from 10% you have come to, let's say, 60%. You will maintain that. You will not buckle. Yes, if challenge is beyond 60, then obviously that's not your capacity. But from 10%, you have come to 60% with your own efforts, you will not regress. So therefore, the message is keep on striving. Spiritual effort never goes to waste. It is, you carry it moment to moment, life to life. So that is first. I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. Second meaning of yoga is spiritual enlightenment. So that's the meaning of the word yoga. You unite with the self. So I will give you that spiritual enlightenment. With your own efforts, you will achieve the ultimate goal of life. And ksema in this context means success in whatever you do in life. See, a lot of people, they say, okay, fine. I mean, I am putting efforts to evolve spiritually, but what about my worldly success? It is automatic. This is what they don't understand. So therefore, he is saying, I will give you that success, whatever you want. You want prosperity, you want productivity, you want to be successful in whatever you're doing, you will get it. That's the second meaning. Because your thoughts are on the higher. If there's somebody is working in the corporate sector or you're in business, your thoughts are on the higher, on the ultimate goal. You can even take it as unselfish goal. It's okay just to understand the concept. So since your thoughts are on the higher, not on your body, mind, intellect, not on selfish desires, you maintain that sense of detachment in action. Extremely important. You're not entangled in that particular action. No worry, no anxiety, no stress, your thoughts are on the higher. And since you start working in a sense of renunciation, with a sense of renunciation or detachment, your actions become more potent, more powerful. Because there is no worry, there is no anxiety, there is no ego. So all the pollutants are gone. So your action becomes more potent. So therefore, it gives you success or prosperity, whichever way you want to understand it, because you become objective in life. Doesn't matter what you are doing. And also you feel secured with what you have in life, like position or wealth, as opposed to insecurity, isn't it? There are people, they constantly have that insecurity. What will happen? What will happen? Any amount of money they earn, what will happen? What will happen? You become a CEO of a company, what will happen? You become the president of the country, what will happen? So you develop that sense of security. You feel secured in life. That's the second meaning. And the third meaning of yoga and ksema is, so the yoga to start with, you get stability in spiritual pursuit. Extremely important. Why you develop that stability, why you become consistent in your spiritual pursuit? Because of your own conviction. Your conviction becomes more and more. Otherwise, slightest excuse is enough to take you away from your spiritual pursuit. Good many of us, I think it will apply. Please don't take it personally. Anything pleasant happening in your life, you're gone. Could be anything. You think of whatever. A friend invites you, hey, do you want to come to Europe on a cruise? It's not that you should not go. You forget your goal, you forget your commitment, and you're gone. Or it could be anything unpleasant. Either way, it is applicable. Something fight, petty fight with your wife and husband, and I'm disturbed. How long? 3 months. When was the fight? 3 months back we fought. What was the fight all about? Whether to eat Chinese or Mexican food, and still I am disturbed. So anything, either pleasant or unpleasant, you're gone. All the baby showers you had to attend in the city of Detroit. Indians are the masters in attending weddings. I'm an Indian, so I know what I am talking about. If 30, 40 years they have spent in America, 20 years they have spent in India. You take it from me. Any wedding, distant relative, somebody who takes care of their property, the caretaker, his neighbor's daughter is getting married, Indians will go and forget everything. I'm exaggerating, don't take it literally. So any temptation is enough to take you away from the spiritual path. So with your efforts, you develop that stability. Are you with me? How important is to have that consistency in your pursuit? Sporadic efforts will not take you anywhere in life. And whole life you are pursuing either pleasant or unpleasant things, or you're caught up in highs and lows of life. I mean, life passes like this. Before you understand what is happening, you're already 75, 80, 85. Whole life is gone. So that's the promise Lord makes, that I will give you that stability in your spiritual pursuit. You will become more established in the spiritual path. You will develop that fixation. And once you develop that fixation, then it doesn't matter what you do after that. Even if you are not, due to some reason you have to be away, that fixation does not go. And also, as you put efforts, the self, the supreme reality, draws you towards it, literally speaking. Because when you taste something superior, why would you go back to something inferior? That's the logic. See, if you're at this level, 10, 20%, for argument's sake, right? Worry, anxiety, fights at home, and usual, typical. From 20%, you have come to 40%. So you're a peaceful person. You have that harmony everywhere. You have that conviction. You're able to handle the temptations. You're able to live a disciplined life. So it's a far, far superior lifestyle. You feel nice. You're peaceful. You're dynamic. Would you go back to that 20%? Or would you be drawn to go towards 60%? You're at 40. From 20, you became 40. Would you be drawn towards 20 or would you be drawn towards 60 is the question.
60.
60 is the nature, it's a psychology. Because you have tested something far, far superior. So what is it which is drawing you towards improvement, to become better human being? So it is a self which is a supreme reality which is drawing you towards it like a magnet. But you need to take that initial step. That's the whole thing. I think Quran says that you take one step towards me, I take 10 steps. You take 10 steps, I take 100 steps. You come to me walking, I come to you running. But we're not doing anything, we're just sitting, what can happen? So that self draws you, God draws you towards it. So your spiritual growth is nothing but 99.99% efforts, your own efforts. And once you come to 99.99% efforts, that 0.1%, whatever is left, that is providential. That is beyond human efforts. In fact, when you stop putting efforts, the final effort, then only the Lord sucks you into it, as it were. But to come to 99.99%, that's the whole challenge, isn't it? So therefore, if you analyze this, that promise has got no meaning. 99.99% you have to do. That 0.1% he says, I will do it. Of course, it means everything. I don't know how many of you have done para jumping. Has anybody jumped from the aeroplane with the parachute? I'm sure
Yes.
there'll be a few people here. Tim, you have done that? Somebody
Yes.
said, yeah, those who have army background, I mean, we are on NCC, we had done that. I mean, the amount of preparation when they tell you, okay, you're selected for para jumping, you're like 17, 18, you start jumping, yelling, yeah. But then the effort, I mean, 2-3 months they go in preparation. And then finally they take you up. I mean, that too, like first to show you what is happening and all that. And then when you do the solo jump, so you go in the aircraft, whatever, 10, 15,000 feet height, you're dressed up and everything. It's a science, it's a technique. And then they open the door and there is a light, there is a green light. And then you have to let go. And once you let go, you don't have to worry about what will happen. Law of gravitation functions. So law of gravitation does the rest, but what about to the point of jumping? Are you with me? Tremendous commitment, tremendous efforts. Earth will embrace you, that is guaranteed, but what about efforts? So 99.99% efforts you have to put. And once you come to that 99.99%, then individuality snaps. So that 0.01% is providential, that is beyond human efforts. That is where God comes in, that is where Lord comes in. I mean, again, it's based on cause and effect. So what is it that you are losing when you get that fixation on the ultimate goal? Are you losing anything?
Absolutely not.
Nothing, zero. Whichever way you analyze it. So you want harmony at home, you want to know how to relate to everybody in this world, you want success, you want productivity, you want peace, you want dynamism, you want that capacity to deal with any challenge, you want clarity. All these are worldly goals. They are automatically taken care of. But for that, you need that tremendous fixation. So therefore, he says, to those persons who worship me meaning that ultimate goal. But how? Ananya chintayantoma, not thinking of anything else. They have that total commitment and they oblate all their activities, doesn't matter what they're doing, to the goal of self-realization. So if you do that, I will give you yoga, I will give you ksema. Now this formula, this principle, this concept is applicable in any field in life. Of course, it's talking about the goal of self-realization, but in whatever you do, this is applicable in life, isn't it? Get that fixation, oblate all your activities to that goal is not easy. If you want to be successful in any field, I'm not talking about spiritual field. What is the difference between two people? So we all like sports. You know, if you look at any upcoming lawn tennis player, who is the latest one? Alcaraz, right? Alcaraz, even Djokovic, and he's what, 38, 39 now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, look at their commitment, look at the way they oblate everything to that goal. It's not easy. So therefore, they are at that level. I'm talking about worldly goal, nothing to do with spirituality. Exactly same principle applies even in the spiritual path. Most people, their approach to spirituality is very casual. There's hardly any willingness to put efforts. And they quote these verses, unfortunately. See, Lord has promised everything. What has he promised? Has he promised anything, really speaking?
No, no.
Yes, Hemaji? You have an answer? Somebody
He
wanted to give an answer.
promised nothing until
Promise nothing. And yet he's promising everything. That's the beauty. So the focus has to be on what?
Effort.
Efforts. Every single unit of effort. Why worry about a result? Result, he's saying it is assured. Don't worry about a result. Cause and effect. You just sow the cause. Keep on putting effort at every stage in your life, which is every day. And it's not that difficult once you understand the concept. I mean, is it difficult to analyze your life and figure out what is going to help me in my spiritual evolution, what is not going to help me in my spiritual evolution? I mean, you decide. I mean, it's not. It is easy. Otherwise, you will be dancing to other people's tunes all the time, which includes your own husband or a wife, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, anything you are available. It's not that you're not willing to do your obligations. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about, I mean, don't you have a backbone to Again, don't take it personally, to follow your own goal in life, spiritual goal in life, according to you, not according to others. But you get swayed by all these temptations. Oh
May I
God,
ask,
save me from my friends, says Swami Ram Tirtha. My friends and relatives. What a statement. Oh God, save me from my friends and relatives. That doesn't mean drop your friends and relatives. I don't know what are you understanding this, So that is where that stability in spiritual path is extremely important, and it comes. You don't have to worry if you don't have that. If you are sincere, if you are genuine, you will get established in the spiritual path with your own efforts. So fascinating verse, very inspiring. To those persons who worship me, thinking of nothing else. To those ever seeking union, I grant them yoga, I grant them ksema. Yoga ksema vahamyaham. Many Indian homes you will find this is written. Yoga ksema vahamyaham. Even in the corporate sector, they have written that. You go to the reception, behind that you see, isn't it? Yoga ksema vahamyaham. It's a very famous quotation from Bhagavad Gita. But people often forget your efforts. They just go by the promise. Same in Bible, if you read, Christ makes that promise. But what about efforts? Nobody talks about that.
may I ask a question?
Yes, Tim.
Can it be said another way that the Lord promises everything as long as you do your part?
Exactly. He has already done his part, which is law of causation, which is part and parcel of the world. You don't have to worry about that. Eventually, it will come to you, whatever you are seeking, especially in spiritual path. Initial period is trying. That's the challenge. Because we don't have that conviction. Intellect is not developed. So you are swayed by the world. So you may succumb to temptations, or your own mind may overpower you at times. So initially it is difficult. But once you get that grounding, then it's no big deal. Then it doesn't matter what happens to you. Good things happen in life, you enjoy. Unpleasant things happen in life, you deal with them. You don't stay put. You deal with them. It's part and parcel of your life. But your mental equilibrium is not disturbed. That is important. And you can lose your mental equilibrium either way. When something good happens, also you go crazy. And something sad happens, also you go crazy. Either way, So think about it. Verse number 22. Read Swamiji's commentary. It's quite well explained. And if something is not clear, bring it up next week. Almost time up now, 10:26. We got 4 minutes left. So any quick questions from either from this verse or 20 or 21?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah,
In
please.
most of the daily activities, you can fix your mind to the higher power, higher authority while cooking, going for walk, exercise, talking. But with the news media, nowadays everybody says we have to know what is happening in the world. And whenever you open the channel for a news media, most of them are negative. The war and all these things. How, at that moment, with that context, how can we fix our mind to higher power, listening all this negative? things.
I mean, why listen to negative things to
The
begin with?
news is nothing, but most of the time is that way.
So, therefore, one great man said, read no times, read eternities. Read no times, read eternities. So, you decide what you want to do.
Okay.
In Vedanta Academy, while students are in the course, they're completely cut off from the world. There's no newspaper, there's no media, there's no nothing, zero. That's what shapes your personality. I've gone through that. I mean, that course for years, 5, 6 years, we did not know what was happening in the world. Only when you cut off from the world, your mind will calm down. So you apply this as per your capacity. You cannot do it 100%. I mean, to some extent, you need to be aware of what is happening, but how much of negative news to take into your system, I mean, you decide.
So the thing was that I don't watch news much, but in the family, everybody said you should know this. Friend keeps talking that. Then right now it came in my mind. Okay, once in a while when I'm seeing that, how can I convert that to the positive thing? Mostly,
No,
I
you
don't.
cannot. You cannot. That's the how can you convert negative thing into positive? You understand world is an admixture of good and bad.
Mhm.
There cannot be 100% good. There cannot be 100% bad. This applies individually. This applies to a society. This applies to a community. This applies to all of us as a race, human race. So world is an admixture of good and bad. So it depends on you what aspect of the world you want to associate with. But even in best of times, there will be negative things. So you understand that. See, the problem happens when you personalize. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no, this is negative. Objectively, if you understand to the extent necessary, nothing will happen. But you personalize that, then there is a problem. Oh, I hate war. I hate this. I hate that particular ideology. I don't like what he's saying. I don't like what she's saying. That is where the problem starts. But if you objectively watch, like in a movie, there are good things, there are negative things. It does not affect you. So the moment you personalize, then the problem starts. I don't like any negativity in the world at all. So you're personalizing. You're losing your objectivity. You're getting involved. That's the problem.
Yeah,
So
I
if you,
got answer. Objectivity is important.
yeah, but do we have that objectivity is the question. So
We
till you
have to
develop that objectivity, don't you need to withdraw from all these negative influences as much as possible from practical point of view. If you can do it 100%, great. Your growth will be like this. So again, depends on what do you want to achieve in life.
Amiji, one clarification. Isn't it like harder? It's easier if I, physically remove myself from the world and move to Himalayas to really work on this knowledge and scriptures and all that. But by living in the world, it has to be like, I don't know how many times difficult, and how do people navigate that given everything, with your excellent explanations, with the word is swaying you got, peer pressures and, desires and to be included and all that, so that, what's your advice?
So this knowledge was given out by Raja Rishis. Most of the saints who gave this knowledge, they were kings themselves. They were not living in seclusion. That's the misconception people have. Yes, but to learn this knowledge, you need to withdraw to some extent. So you are doing it right now. 1 hour you have withdrawn yourself. So some kind of withdrawal is necessary to fortify your personality. Now, how much to withdraw would depend on one's inspiration and conviction. So therefore, we give that opportunity from time to time, and many of you are taking advantage of that. I have never seen you missing our retreat. Last 10 years, twice a year we do. How many retreats you have missed? Maybe one or two, isn't it? So it's an opportunity to withdraw. Many of you go to Vedanta Academy, stay there for 8 days, 10 days, So which is enough as far as most of you are concerned. That much of withdrawal is far beyond your capacity and a need. So once you withdraw, your mind becomes calm. When mind becomes calm, you are able to absorb this knowledge, think, reflect, intellect becomes available, and then you apply that knowledge in the world. That is how it works. So how much to withdraw? Without withdrawal, you cannot learn this knowledge. Right now, all of us are withdrawing, but we can't withdraw 24/7. I get your point. So every day in the morning, 45 minutes, 1 hour, that is withdrawal, study, reflection. Few times, whenever we offer these opportunities to live in seclusion for 3 days or 4, 5 days, I'm talking about like sincere seekers. I mean, in your context, I'm talking about. So every day, 45 minutes, 1 or 2 lectures in a week. You do 2 local retreats, then I would recommend adding Vedanta Academy in India, which is like 6, 7 days in the year, is enough for your spiritual need at this moment. And slowly you will go to the next level. You will be able to withdraw more. You stay in the world, but then you don't participate in non-essentials. That is how it works. It's not that you don't participate, but you don't have to be there for every baby shower, I'm just giving you an example. Every function, it's not that I have to go. So this knowledge gives you that capacity.
Thank you.
So are we okay? All right, great. So I will see you next week. Those who attend Upanishad, we have Upanishad tomorrow. I think we'll be continuing with mantra 2, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it? Last week we covered first mantra. So from tomorrow, we'll start with mantra 2. And secondly, all of you must have received email for Sunandaji's lecture series. So register. When you register, you get a link to watch. Pass on this information to your friends. It's a community event meant for everybody. So see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amitji. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Amit ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amitji.
Bye. Bye, everybody.